Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Catherine and I post literally everything on this channel, and as you can see from the title, I have created a TBR game, but actually it is my old TBR game called TBR Circus. If you've been following me on my other channel, Language Traveler, you know that I used to have this game a few years ago and I absolutely loved playing it, but then when I left for New Zealand, I didn't play this game. Obviously, I couldn't take it with me, and so I abandoned it. And now I have created a new version of the game. It's absolutely massive, but I didn't want to make like a tiny one. I wanted it to be comfortable to use, and so the rules are very simple. Each month I'll have 3 to 5 roles depending on how busy the month is. For example, for December, I'm most likely just gonna have 3 roles because December is a very busy month, and then for September I had 5 roles, spoiler alert, but each square is a different genre, and then I also have Earths, planet Earth, and then I have garbage, and then I roll 2 die, and if I roll a double I add an extra roll, but there's a rule that extra rolls cannot give me extra rolls, because when I played the previous rounds of the game, I would end up with 10 or 11 rolls because I would constantly roll doubles and doubles. And then another rule is that if I step on the same color at least 3 times, I do have to add an extra roll as well. So for example, if I step on pink at least 3 times in 1 month, I have to add an extra roll. And then each month I do not start a new game, I just continue, and then by the end I can buy myself a book. I can treat myself, and yeah, there's like things like going down and going up like in a real circus, and yeah, I will now go down and show you the game and explain all of the rules, and then we will go to rule number 1. Okay, so this is what the TBR Circus game looks like from up close. If you've been following me for a while, you might remember the old TBR Circus, but I created a new one. This is a bit bigger, and this has a few other squares and other prompts, and so let me share with you what this is all about. So every colored square is a different genre, and then some squares I would have to go down or up, and then some of these are different things, as I said. And yeah, let's go through each color and I'll share with you what genres I'm gonna be picking from. So the green one is middle grade, pink one is YA, contemporary or romance, red one is new adult or adult contemporary romance or literary fiction, orange one is mystery or thriller, blue one is a free pick, so I can choose any genre that I like. Brown one, this used to be sci-fi or fantasy, but now I don't read a lot of sci-fi and fantasy anymore, and so this one's going to be classics. And then purple one is historical fiction. And then I also have planet Earths here. These will be from my Read the World challenge, and then this bin is from a video that I made of these books will self-destruct in 12 months. So if I step on this bin, I'll have to read one of the books from that list. And yeah, as you can see here, I can choose wherever I want to go. So if I feel like reading classics, I'll go here. If I feel like reading historical fiction, I can go back here. And then I also have these prompts that by stepping on each genre, I will also pick a prompt and try to match a genre to prompt, but that doesn't always happen as well, so I'm just giving myself a little bit of freedom there. Alright, so rule number 1 is 4, so 3, 4, mystery or thriller, and the challenge is a book set in a country you have never been. So role number 1 was mystery, and the challenge was a book set in a country you haven't been. And for this, I decided to choose The Woman in the Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. And this book is about our main character, Lo, who is a journalist, and she gets an assignment to go on a luxury cruise ship to Norway. And I have never been to Norway, so this is perfect. And everything is perfect until she witnesses a woman being thrown overboard. But the only problem is that all of the passengers on the ship that have to be there still remain there, and so the ship just continues to sail on. And yeah, it's just, I think it's gonna be interesting. I've heard mixed things about it, but I've never read anything by Ruth Ware either, so yeah, I would love to read at least something, and this sounds like a really cool read. So let's go to role number 2. Role number 2, 11. Young adult contemporary, and the challenge is nature words in the title. Role number 2 was YA, and the challenge was nature words in the title. And for this, I've decided to choose Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welsh. This is the third and final book in her trilogy, and this one follows our main character, Liv, and her dad left her and her mom, and he left for Greece when she was only 8 years old, and she basically didn't communicate with him too much, and all that he left her are some memories of their shared love for the lost city of Atlantis. And now when she is a teenager, her dad sends her a postcard inviting her to come to Greece because National Geographic wants to film a documentary about his theories on Atlantis. And obviously she goes there, but then she quickly realizes that he invited her not only for National Geographic documentary, but for reasons more serious. And I really enjoyed the first 2 books, so I decided to continue on. And I read the previous ones a long time ago, and to be honest, I remember one of them. I do not remember Love and Luck at all. Let's go to role number 3. Role number 3, 6. Read adult or new adult contemporary or literary fiction, and the challenge is free pick. Role number 3 was new adult or adult contemporary or literary fiction, and the challenge was free, and I decided to choose Again But Better by Christina Riccio. And I actually wasn't planning to read this book, but when my friend visited me in August and we were talking about books, she recommended me a really cool book, and she told me absolutely amazing things about it, and the book had really cool synopsis, but she didn't remember the title of the book. And then she found that it's called Again But Better by Christina Ricci. And so I decided to read it, and I found it on Libby as audiobook, and so I'm gonna listen to it. And so this book is about our main character, Shane, whose life is like boring. She basically has no life. She only had like college and home, and then she has non-existing love life, and she decides to go on a semester abroad in London, and she expects it to be a huge adventure, and I think it will be a big adventure. And my friend actually told me a few other things that happened in this book, but I don't want to spoil, so yeah, I will be listening to this one in September. So let's go to role number 4. Role number 4, 5. Middle grade, and the challenge is a Christmas book. A Christmas book in September, why not? Role number 4 was middle grade, and the challenge was Christmas book. And for the life of me, I could not find a middle grade Christmas book that I want to read. Yes, a Christmas book in September. We will read a Christmas book in September. So I decided to go with Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I have never read Christmas Carol, and I have never read anything by Charles Dickens before, so I'm gonna listen to this one on audiobook as well. And it's a very short one, and so hopefully I enjoy it as much as everyone else seems to, because this is a very popular one. And yeah, why not start reading Christmas books right at the beginning of fall? So let's go to roll number 5. And hopefully our last roll number 5, is 8. Historical fiction, and the challenge is a cover that makes you happy. Ooh. So roll number 5 was historical fiction, and the challenge was a book with a cover that makes you happy. And for this one, I decided to choose The Paris Library by Jeanette Skeslin Charles, and this cover does make me happy. It was very hard to find a historical fiction with a cover that would make you happy, because a lot of historical fictions that I read are about war and very hard topics, and so the covers are not the most pleasant. But I actually really enjoyed this cover. I think it's really pretty. It reminds me of Paris. It's like, it has books on the cover. It's a light cover. So yeah, I will be reading this one. And so this book is basically set in Paris during World War II, and it's based on a true story about the heroic librarians of the American Library in Paris during World War II, and that is all that I know about this book. So yeah, I don't know. We will read and we will see how I like it. But yeah, this cover definitely makes me happy because it brings me back to Paris. And now let's talk about some books that I want to read in September that were not part of TBR Circus. And I've decided that I want to read a book from my Around the World challenge every month, and then at the end of the month I will discuss it and I will include spoilers. I will make a big discussion video, and you guys can join me. You can read the book along with me during the month, and then at the end of the month we can all discuss it in the comments and just like have a big discussion. And for September, I've decided to choose a book from Mexico, and the book is called Hurricane Season by Fernanda Melchor. And this book is actually horror. I am not a huge fan of horror in books, but I do read some occasionally, and so I think this was #1 book on Booker's Prize, but I don't remember what year. And so this this book is like, it sounds real fun. It sounds like a mystery more than a horror, but we will see. So this book is about this village in Mexico, and the village had a witch, and then a witch dies, and these kids, they are playing and they discover the dead body of the witch, and then the whole village basically goes upside down trying to discover what happened to that witch and why she died. And it sounds really cool, and so I will be reading that in September, and you can also join me. And as I said, we will discuss at the end. And then I also have another book about Mexico, but it's more to like understand the country more, and that is the history of Mexico. And I have it in Russian, but you can obviously find Mexican history online as well. I just really enjoy reading books about different countries and history. I don't know, I never used to do it, but this year I've been getting into this like historical and geographical nonfiction more and more. And yeah, I will try to read this one as well in September. I don't know how far I'll get, but I'll try to read at least a little bit so I can understand the Mexican fiction book that I will be reading. So yeah, let's see what other books I have. I have 3 more books. Yes, my September TBR is very large, rather large. So all of those 3 books I'm actually currently reading. And so the first one is White Fang by Jack London. I've actually already read Call to the Wild by Jack London, so this book has 2 of those stories, and I'm in kind of like third through White Fang, and so I'll try to finish this one as soon as I can. And then I'll also I'm like a tiny little bit into short stories by Guy de Maupassant. He's a French author, and I've read like three of those stories, and I loved one of them, and so I would love to continue on. Even if I don't finish this book in September, I just want to continue, because short story collections are books that you can read throughout multiple months and just like come back and like, if you're in the mood for a short story, you can just like read a short story and then come back 2 months later and read another one. So yeah, I love anthologies for that. And then the last one for September is one that I will probably not finish in September as well, but that is A Rough Guide to Nepal. And I've actually got this book when I was in Nepal. This was on a bookshelf in my hotel that I was staying at, and I'm 54 pages in, and I still have my Summit Air boarding pass when we were traveling to Lukla when I was hiking to Everest Base Camp. And yeah, I have actually put tabs on for 20 pages that I have to read 20 pages a day. But yeah, I have not read a single page from this book in about 2.5 months now. So I would love to finish this book by the end of the year. So you'll probably see this book in every TBR to come until the end of the year, or as long as it takes me to finish it. But yeah, that is my rather large September TBR. September is going to be busy as well, but hopefully I can get through as many of these books as I can. And I forgot to mention that if I don't read books from my TBR circus in that specific month, I can, like, they basically roll over to the next month. And then if I don't finish the book in 2 months, then I have to do a no buy challenge. So where it's not just a book buying ban, it's like no buy challenge, where I cannot buy anything that is not food or utilities or like very, very basic needs, that like everyday needs that I need to pay for, but anything else I cannot buy. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I get to all of these books in September. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you very soon. Bye!